Who Got Liz Gardner by Elizabeth Allen. Narrated by the author. Acknowledgements. I must begin by thanking my daughter from the bottom of my heart. Without her incredible maturity, patience, and willingness to sacrifice cherished mother-daughter time, I would not have been able to write this book. My utmost gratitude is reserved for my incredible husband, the one who got me. His love, support, and encouragement eclipsed any doubts I may have had about writing this book. I couldn't have done it without him, really. Author's note. While this book could be considered embellished memoirs, most of the characters are purely fictional. If names were used that may suggest a reference to any living or deceased persons, it was done unintentionally. In some cases, however, certain characters and events are based on actual people and experiences from the author's life, and only the real names of individuals now deceased are used. Prologue. Who got Liz Gardner? What kind of question is that anyway, and who asks it? I've discovered that the boys we knew in high school still dwell on the fate of the girls they never got, or in some cases did, and ponder that fate for as long as 30 years beyond puberty. A few weeks ago, succumbing to the pressure of endless pop-up ads suggesting that old friends were looking for me, I decided to Google my old high school. Among the results was the alma mater website. As a financial advisor suffering from the painful sting of the financial meltdown and credit crisis of 2008, I thought this might be a creative way of prospecting new clients to replace those who had perished. Not entirely sure I would remember much more than a few names, I entered the chat room for 1977 graduates. Within moments of silent observation, which quite frankly felt a little like eavesdropping, I recognized more than a few names, and quite unintentionally, I was in the men's room. It was full of guys, only guys. Some I remembered well. Overall topics circulated around cars, sports, business, the economy, and politics, which were virtually unbearable. Is anyone trading in their SUV for a sissy gas-efficient compact car? Like a Prius? Christ, even the name sounds gay. Hey, how about that subprime mortgage meltdown? Thank God I paid off my mortgage. There was an obnoxious point-counterpoint debate pitting the value of the green egg outdoor barbecue, which was followed soon after by a bitch and moan session regarding their lives and families. My wife doesn't appreciate me. She never has. And my boss is a dick. My life sucks. Oh, my wife appreciates me, but she is such a fat ass now. She wouldn't put down a donut to save her life. When we screw, I have to visualize Angelina Jolie just to get it up. I don't even remember the last time I got laid. She stopped taking pride in her looks years ago. She was so hot when we met, she used to model. Now, she shops at Lane Bryant with all the other full-figured girls. I feel awful looking at other women, but I'm not attracted to her anymore. They continued a review of the hottest female celebrities and who ranked the sexiest. Can we all agree Pamela Anderson is gorgeous and totally doable? Hell yeah, but my wife thinks she's a skank. If I ever did get a free pass, she's okay with Eva Mendes. Like that's going to happen. And what the hell do women see in Brad Pitt? Mine is hot for Hugh Jackman. She always follows the current trend. They shared their fantasies about sexual proclivities, which all agreed would lead to the divorce courts should they as much as suggest them to their wives. They might have been surprised if their wives were anything like me. Of course, absent from the dialogue was any mention of the beer bellies, love handles, or insensitivity the men brought to the table and the bedroom. They moaned on about how they never got sex anymore, but they're horny all the time. They were still trying to please their aging parents and forced to endure meltdowns at every family gathering. In fact, they all agreed that Thanksgiving took first place as the most lethal of family holidays. Then The dreaded disease fest kicked in. Oy vey, I thought I'd been transported to a Jewish deli in South Florida. But no, these were men, professionals mostly, competing on who had suffered the most. I had testicular cancer, but they think they caught most of it before it spread, thank God. My wife's best friend's sister went to have liposuction and died on the table. Talk about your ultimate weight loss. As I read their laments, I reminded myself that this was a high school graduate chat room, that these were grown men, not teenagers. What kind of lives, if any, do these guys have whereby this is the forum they find to gather and commiserate? Time to talk about the ladies. Last names weren't used, but I knew who they were talking about. Jackie, Ellen, Gina, Melissa, Martha Lynn, Val, etc. Nothing too lurid. Apparently, some of the candidates had been personally claimed, which rendered conversation about those girls immediately off limits. The subject went dull. No wife-swapping proposals, no wish I could have gotten her, no take my wife, please. There were snippets of information about who went on to do what with whom and when, and then I saw it. Does anyone know who got Liz Gardner? Oh my God. What were the odds I would subscribe to this chat room on this given night, this time, this year, this moment, and become the topic of choice? Crap! This was just plain creepy, but compelling as hell. I had to read the speculations. I could tell from their banter none of them knew the truth about me, nor could they have possibly known what I had done. In high school, I was not the hot cheerleader, but short, with small boobs. I was Jewish and looked it, with my olive complexion, deep-set dark Semitic eyes, and aquiline nose. I knew the girls they sought after, and I never considered myself one of them. Tom. I think she married that old guy who looked like Clint Eastwood she was dating senior year. He must have been 40 plus. Dick. No, I don't think so. Liz didn't marry him, and I heard he turned gay. She was engaged to some actor from USF and then moved to New York. Never heard if she married him. I did hear she got into the movies, though. Porn. She had such a hot little body, but I guess she didn't have the look for mainstream. I wonder what name she used in porn. I'd love to check out her films. Harry. I saw her naked. She modeled for an art class. Very hot. A++. Tom. Copy that. I took that art class too. She also worked weekends at Paradise Lakes, that nudist resort. Could have nailed her, but she was with that actor. Harry. In your dreams. She went out with a couple of actors. Which one are you talking about? Tom. Who cares? Jeff. I went out with her in between actors. Harry. Come on, laughing out loud. Jeff. I did. She was sweet, but a little crazy. Too much family crap. Her dad was a shrink, and I think that messed her up. I'm not so sure about the porn films, but my wife used to pal around with her, and she heard Liz became a crackhead and had 3 crack babies. Mutt. Shrink dad plus crack equals porn star. Logical conclusion. She didn't marry the actor in New York, though. She moved out to LA and married some guy named Eric Alexander. Tom. The New England Patriot? Dick. The football player? Harry. You're kidding. Jeff. That guy? He's enormous. Mutt. No, not the NFL guy. Same name, though. Had a baby, too. I don't think she's ever come to any reunions. Must have gotten fat. Jeff. Hasn't stopped any other girls. Mutt. I'll second that. Tom. Come to think of it, I remember hearing about that. But I think she left him. Took her kid and turned gay. Started some weird lesbian Scientology commune. Jeff. Takes a real man to turn his wife gay. Tom. Or was that your wife, Jeff? Harry. I actually did hear something about Liz ending up like her mother. Dick. Worse. Glad I skipped that ride. I could see her as a lesbian or bi at least. She used to hang out with Jana. Remember her? What knockers. Jeff. Nailed her too. Tom. OMG, Jeff, we all remember what a stud you were. Hey, how's your wife? Jeff. Fine. Thanks for asking. Dick. Liz and Jana were quite the pair. Now there's a fantasy. Mutt. Too bad I never tapped that. Jeff. I did. Then there was this long pause without responses. Jeff. Hello? I had been the target of a worldwide circle jerk. There was precious little information to go on, but I surmised from this session that my male contemporaries were bored, dissatisfied, and found life stale. I don't imagine their spouses were much happier. Their trophy wives had morphed into trailer trash. The ice-cold splash of conformity had dashed the idealistic dreams of their youth. They were too late getting to their fresh-baked baguettes and had to manage with croutons. Their future was looking forward to lateral complacency, and this was precisely why you couldn't drag me to a reunion. I would be the square peg wandering amidst nothing but round holes. They would regale me with wallet photos of their kids. I would widen my eyes, mouth agape as they embellished stories of their marital adventures and parental success. But their unembellished stories were as old as the hills. Married right out the gate, had kids soon after, and had to make responsible choices to support the family. Dreams were not responsible. Dreams don't make mortgage payments or fund a 529 college plan. Reading their hearsay, I exhaled any worry that they knew the truth about me. They had amassed some vague details with minor accuracies, but none of them were close to sinking their teeth into the raw meat. I had made completely different choices than my classmates. My stories required no embellishing. I didn't conform to social ideals, pressure, or expectations. I drove through my life without a safety belt, miraculously surviving my reckless choices. God, how did I do that? My guardian angels were built like linebackers. So many times I felt them losing their grip as I came close to disaster, but they persisted and never let me fall. Not entirely. Will my past and all its scars catch up to me? Are my mistakes laying dormant like some predisposed disease until a catalyst triggers cellular activity? Are we truly doomed to become our parents? Did I finally end up at a reunion unhappily married and fat? Or divorced and alone like half my classmates? With ulcers? Or worse? How did I find myself? How did I get Liz Gardner?